Because we'll go live.
I will be your guide.
Yeah,
earlier, I had
you're gonna have to sort your clock out, mate. Because I know we're late and everything, but you fucking were trying. Oh no, we should be live now. And out
does that mean you're the late Jason Holmes? Earlier on, one of my neighbours, I could hear this music outside, and I'm thinking, the rebels across the road who I've been, trying to wake up for about 2 years, and I think they finally have, are on about having a barbecue at the weekend and inviting people. I'm thinking, cool. Good evening, welcome to Raconteurs News. I do that bit because he can't hear you.
I can hear you. It just worked perfectly.
Did it really?
Absolutely worked perfectly from the very start. And let me just before we even start, look, this is it's telling me I'm live now.
Yeah.
But Shield Destroyer, who's in the chat room, I've sent you a link, mate. I sent you an email. I sent you a link. I don't know if you got it. That we invited you onto this round table that we're doing tonight. But anyway, good evening, welcome to Raconteurs News, where Boswag is still in intensive care, and we've got to be worried. We've got to pray for Boris, pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, but we can't go to church to do it because churches are shut. And if the cunt fucking dies, is he just going to have one of them paupers burials like everybody else? And we won't, or is it going to be a fucking state funeral? Who knows? These times that we live in. Anyway, I've got my mate with me as usual. It seems a bit. You in bottom corner don't seem right, but I think it might take a lot of fucking about to try and sort it out.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, Ade, good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Heard some music earlier. Thought one of my neighbours, she says, we're pissed off with us thinking of having a barbecue. Cool. They're the ones who have been kind of, trying to wake up a bit, and they're really getting there, especially the husband. Anyway, heard this music earlier. I thought, fucking, they're doing the barbie. Cool. Let's expect the coppers around. That'll be fun. Went outside. They're not having a barbie, and it's the sad old fucker who lives across the back, and he's playing some really shit music with his door open. And I was really disappointed. But still looking forward to. I think it's going to be this weekend's going to be a bit of a breaker for people because it's Easter, isn't it?
It is, and Mark, Shield Destroyer, alluded to that yesterday in the chat room, and I wanted to try and press him a little bit more on that if we got him on. But let's we've got a bit of a round table thing going on tonight. I thought, it's a bit slim for guests, and you never know where you're going to get them from, and really wanted to come on a show like this, especially
you can't use words like slim and round. Mind you, Owen's slim, and but I guess I'm round, but it can't be a round table because it's square. And you've got a man stood behind you with his name on his pants.
He's not got my name. I'm not called Callio, am I? If I were, these blokes would all be. These are what were found in Kevin Spacey's fucking dungeon after they found out all about it.
Anyway, introduce Lloyd. Let's have an update from Lloyd.
For Owen, actually. Owen. Good evening.
That was close.
He thinks all names look. He thinks all names sound the same. See, so. Go on, Owen. Good evening. How are you, my old mate?
I am not too bad at all, guys. Thanks for having me on. Things are steady away here over in Portugal. Like I say, with the old CV19. Pretty laid back. We've had a bad couple of days with heavy rain and winds and stuff. But today, thankfully, it's been lovely and warm. Managed to top the tan.
Awesome. And you're looking well for it. I did notice your tan, actually, when you came on. It's one of the first things I noticed. I thought it's topped up nicely in the Portuguese tongue. And the complete opposite of Owen is in the other corner, in the bottom left-hand corner. It's celebrity. Should call this Raconteurs' new celebrity squares. In the bottom corner, we have Webby. Good evening. We are playing Web Bingo tonight. He is here. Good evening, Webby. How you doing, mate?
No, he's muted and silented and.
Oh, there we go.
I'm here. I'm just trying to throw some tea down myself. So that's why there's no camera on yet.
What, down your shirt or down your neck?
Well, it's down a bit of both, to be fair.
What is it that you're having?
I'm having cheese and brown sauce on toasties. Cheese toasties with brown sauce.
Cheese toasty. Oh, I can't beat it. Cheers, Webby.
You know how to live in Manchester, don't you?
Oh, hey, we're on lockdown here, mate. We're on rations. It's not like York, you know, where you live in all splendour.
Oh, dear.
As long as you're all right, mate, anyway.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, lad.
We've got the new number added to Web Bingo, and that is what is going on. We're going to be trying to get that tonight as well. We're trying to find out. We're trying to answer that as well. So, what's your take? Let's start with you, Owen. Have you seen any of the news from over here, or any of the international news? Or
I can give you the lowdown on Portugal. I can give you the lowdown on Portugal if you want. We have. Look at my piece of paper here. 12,442 confirmed cases. 184 people have recovered, and we have 345 deaths. But one of the things here that I mentioned to the guys earlier before we came on is that they have estimated that there will be 471 people dying before, even down to the date, August the 4th. So, yeah.
I know that's Portugal, but is this not where they had the computer models told Boris that there were going to be 500,000 people dead?
I wouldn't have a clue. And I was speaking to my dad earlier on in Jamaica, and they actually have a curfew on between 8 p.m., which is now, well, no, not a while yet, they're 6 hours behind, 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. And over in Jamaica, check this out, there are 21.64 cases per 1 million, 21.64, 59 confirmed cases, 8 people have recovered, and there's 3 deaths. So I was thinking, how are things there? And one of the first things my dad said, it's come from America, that Bill Gates. And I couldn't, I wasn't going to say anything more. He's a wise man, is my dad. He knows what's going on.
Is he Welsh?
Hence the name Owen. Shut up, man.
I think he was talking about your accent, imitating you.
Yeah, I know. He's got that before. He has.
We're on the border here, right? Listen, I'm right on an edge. I've already complimented on his tan. I've got a fucking group of fucking young fellas behind me with the fucking not a single black one inside. So, if anyone wants to love the racist thing at me, then I'm smothered in it, really, aren't I? On this evidence.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's about. I mean, like I say, with here, you're allowed. If I use an English term, you're allowed to stay within your shire. In other words, say if I was in the UK, I'd only be able to stay in Yorkshire. I wouldn't go to West Yorkshire. I wouldn't be able to travel out of there. So, I mean, as far as the shops go, the shops are still open. We don't have as much panic buying. I remember seeing something yesterday morning at one of the local markets was still going. Everybody was still there. Nobody was social distancing. People were still talking and chatting and getting on with what they're doing. So I don't know. It's just one of these things that's going on there. You can go from country to country, and everybody's treating it differently. And I think it's down to the people's attitude and whether they believe the narrative or not.
Yeah, there's still football going on somewhere, isn't there? Is it Bratislava or somewhere like that? Yeah, there's still got he sent me a link. Hang on, let me just have a look. He sent me a picture, a video. And he was watching it. He says, "There we go." Wait till end. Oh. I asked Steve to come on tonight as well, because to be part of Round Table, but he's watching Glee, so.
Watch.
Watching
Glee.
He has so got cabin fever, especially when he's cooking.
More cabin fever, isn't it?
It is, especially when he's cooking, mate.
I know. There's definitely one league. Anyway, have a look it up. He sent me a thing about it. But there's a league still going in Europe. I think it's Bratislava. It's one of them. It's one of them Eastern Bloc, former Soviet countries, I believe. I'm going to change that behind me because I'm thinking they can sneak up on me and get me in shower.
Jason's feeling uncomfortable.
I am feeling uncomfortable, but the green screen's making me feel uncomfortable. What's your eye today? Sorry, Ade, go on, mate.
No, I'm going to say, Owen, you said that your dad is in Jamaica.
Yes.
And he's got a curfew.
Between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Well, I didn't realise that this not coronavirus was fucking nocturnal.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
So not only have we got a not virus that you can't catch, apparently,
yeah,
that they haven't really got a test for, so they can do whatever the fuck they want with the figures. But it's also now, but only in one country that we know so far, it's decided in Jamaica it's too hot. Cannot be going out in no daytime, so it's too hot because I'm well.
It's a twat. It's a twat.
Too hot.
What's a twat?
So now it's just become nocturnal.
that's it, isn't it? It's a nocturnal virus.
It's a nocturnal fucking virus, but only in Jamaica until we get it confirmed from somewhere else.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, obviously, when my dad told me that this afternoon, it was, obviously a head shake. What's going on? But,
Webby can tell us what's going on.
I'm sure.
But he keeps asking, and I'm sure someone must have answered him. So Webby, what is going on?
Okay, now, man.
Love you.
Wow. It's the way I'm putting this together. I mean, I'm with you, Jason, about the 5G stuff. I think there's major concerns about 5G, obviously, because just on the radiation output alone, but whether it's to do with this COVID thing, there's a link, but whether I can't say that it's the 5G that's caused, even though we know that at a certain frequency, the cells can be damaged, therefore the body will make a virus to try and heal itself from that infection. If it's a frequency, if it's an outside source, then the body's just going to carry on trying to heal itself and it's never going to be able to do it. But put that to one side. Looking at those statistics that I sent you the other day, Jason, where the ingredients of the flu vaccine are listed in the trial document and it states that there is coronavirus in it. So that, therefore, ordinary thinking, normal critical thinking states, well, if you're going to inject coronavirus in me, I'm going to be testing positive for coronavirus without any symptoms. And the police have now got policies because of this coronavirus thing. They've got policies where they can detain you on suspicion with no symptoms. You're going to test positive. If they get to a point where they say you need a vaccine, you need to get on that bus, then we've got an issue. And while we're all still under house arrest and calling for the army to come to Tesco's to stop people buying too much toilet rolls and calling the police out, there was a woman who was very, very politely arrested sitting on a park bench down south yesterday. They were very polite with it, but they still arrested her because they'd spoken to her twice within an hour.
Old people, you can't trust them, can you? Fucking old people.
I saw that
Midway
through that video, they was talking about the social distancing and everything else, and she actually panned her phone round, and there were like 6 people in a group just walking past. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
They was concentrating on this woman. So obviously from the line of sight, they could see these people coming towards, but yet they was there with this woman on the bench. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. I'm seeing loads of different stories. I saw something, and it was back from 2014, and it was from the States, and it was a guy that was a tower climber, a cell tower climber, and he was all apologetic about what he'd done, and he was going into the, well, not the science of it, obviously what he'd been told by the company, and he was basically apologizing. But there are so many conflicting videos. You see, there's numerous ones with doctors and nurses and everybody else coming forward. They haven't been taken down.
Well,
it's only when you get somebody of like your David Icke or somebody else, like somebody that's more in the public eye. It seems to be those people that the videos are being taken down.
Well, I'll tell you what's the worrying aspect for me, because they could give us a little bit of normality back yet, but what is the worrying aspect for me is that the mainstream media are pointing at these certain hospitals, saying that these hospitals are war zones. I'm getting video after video after video showing that hospitals that are being told that is war zones, there's people walking around them for 2 hours saying there's nothing here. There's fuck all happening. There is no war zone. There are no queues for tests. What's getting me is you've got military hospitals being put up as if they're ready for combat. That's how they described it. This is a military hospital ready for combat. Combat against who? I've got people telling me that it's for all these kids that are being saved that have never breathed proper air before because they've been kept down in these bases. And that's what all these ventilators are for. This is the big masking behind all this coronavirus stuff. So you've still got a lot of information that's coming out that you've got to try and sift through it all. And for me, if you've got everybody who's either had flu could possibly test positive for coronavirus because of the antibodies. If everybody who's had the flu jab has been injected with coronavirus, they're going to test positive for coronavirus. So that means there's going to be a massive amount of people who are going to test positive for this stuff. Yeah, it's flu. Your body's dealt with it. It's gone. You're now not ill. You're not shedding this stuff. You're not giving this off unless you're just carrying an ordinary infection. Virologist after virologist is coming forward saying you can't catch a virus. Your body makes the virus. It's an infection that you're picking up, bacterial, pathogenic, whatever it is. We're not being told the truth. And when we're not being told the truth, you've got to switch on because there's no distractions. Everybody's looking at the corner of the living room and it's saying, death, death, you're going to die, you're going to die. And then it'll come on with an over 50s plan. So you can leave some money for your finger. And then the fucking council, the council will turn up and say, we can offer you a funeral for 1,200 quid.
Do you know what, Webby? Them over 50s plans have gone from screens, right? There's no because at this time it's bank holiday weekend coming up. It's a 4-day weekend. DFS sale's going to be on. No DFS sale. No bank holiday weekend. It's just fucking. It just makes you wonder how. All right, I'm going to ask a question. What is going on?
I don't know. It's mad.
This weekend, this bank holiday weekend, it's going to be sunny. There's people going to be going out. These videos, like you said, you've seen. I've not seen the video, but I would say that it would be a good piece of propaganda for the police to be able to put out there that even this nice, sweet old lady who's really nice with him, he's still, and they were nice with her, still, you're still going to get arrested. That's still, I have not seen that video, so I can't comment really on that particular video, but you would have thought that sort of propaganda would be priceless. Yeah.
I did hear the other day of somebody went shopping at the range. I'll use Jason's phrase here. There are other stores available, not just the range. But a guy was given a £60 fine, and he had 2 plants because it was non-essential shopping.
I'll tell you what. This gets me because how many people I know alone who that going out and getting those 2 plants and actually going into the garden has stopped them going to the off license and getting 8 cans. It's stopped them thinking I've got nothing to live for. It's got something for them to go out for. So I don't agree with all this bollocks. I really don't.
The other thing as well is that a friend of mine here, he gets all his plant seeds and everything from the UK on a regular basis, and they've sent him an email, and they normally receive, maybe 100, 200 orders in a week. They've had to stop his order because they're getting over 8,000. So people are buying vegetables and, vegetable plants and stuff for the garden and growing their own. People are realizing. There's even one tale of somebody that's took the drive, the driveway, it's all paved. So every other line of the page they've taken up, and they've started to grow the veggies in between there. So people, I think, I don't know if it's just the awaken, but, people are realizing that this could potentially go on for some while. So they're trying to obviously be self-sufficient.
Monsanto will be doing well, won't they, having sold all these seeds? Yeah. But don't forget, any seeds that you're buying plant now, you can't get any seeds for next year's crop because they've made sure they've genetically modified the fucking plants so they don't produce seeds anymore.
Well, in Canada, because the dairy farmers, there's no restaurants or anything else open, they're having to dump loads of milk, so they're just dumping it into a field. They're just getting rid of it, and the councils are now writing to those farmers and saying you should sell your herd. Because we don't know how, you should sell your herd. So they're trying to the Canadian farmers, but that's what I'm saying. They're bankrupting the farmers. They can't sell the products, so they're dumping the products, and they're saying, we can't help you. You're going to have to sell up. So this is Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. There's nothing new here. We've been talking about this for a decade at least.
Absolutely. And there was another, on the other side of that, over here in Portugal, the government have had to step in because of the markets. Obviously, the markets are being closed, and the farmers that are supplying to the markets aren't supplying. So obviously, there's a great amount of wastage. And what they're trying to get together now is more food trucks out delivering to people.
Yeah.
So obviously this food isn't being wasted, but it's crazy me watching stuff from here because, like I say, if you look at, like I said, 12,442 confirmed cases, and Portugal's population is 10 million. And if you look at the country itself, everybody's quite spaced out. Apart from obviously Lisbon, Faro, Porto, places like that, we're quite far away from each other. Small villages and everything else. So as I say, life does carry on as normal. In particular, where I am at the minute, everybody's just carrying on the business. There's guys out wood today, and just everybody looking after one another as they normally would, even before this came about. I think you're more aware of it. I think yesterday was the first time I heard a report that there was actually a police. It's quite funny, really, because it was somebody on one of the expat sites over here that was saying there was the GNR, which is the police force over here, are going around with a loud tannoy, but this woman couldn't understand it because it was all in Portuguese. But they're going around in these cars telling people, what was it?
We had a Dalek in South Wales, mate. We had a Dalek.
I've seen that one. A black Dalek going up the road. I've seen that one.
Well, hang on a minute. Can you say a black Dalek? Is it not a Dalek of colour?
Listen, surely I can go with that. I think that's what they were saying, is that if you get caught outside, you'll get done with disobedience. So it changes depending where you are. So I suppose over here in Portugal, the more built up, the more reaction you're going to get from the authorities, I suppose.
I'll tell you what I have seen from these figures that they are really, really playing with a lot, that pneumonia has dropped like a fucking brick this year.
Unbelievable that pneumonia is just a bit like fuck. Is it not
just a little bit like corona? Do you think?
Hang on a minute. Isn't that one of them respiratory things that you can get?
Oh, you're fucking thinking now, here.
Hey, you're on it.
Hey, you cooking with gas?
I'm on it. I am on it.
Fucking,
He's on it.
in fucking Isn't Dyson supposed to be doing some of them respirators? What if he fucking gets it wrong and starts fucking sucking all air out of people? Oh, that were unfortunate. 650,000 people died from coronavirus because they got a fucking Dyson fucking ventilator. Jesus Christ.
Mate, what will happen is they won't die of a vacuum, they'll die of coronavirus.
Well,
Yeah.
Up until a couple of years ago, we could have done something about that because he lived about 8 miles in that direction. I don't know if you know that, Jason, between, you know where golf club is on the way to Worksop? Just on the left-hand side there where my son used to live.
Brilliant YouTube this for people not from the area. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he had a really posh big house there with like a moat around it, but I don't think he lives there anymore. But otherwise, we could have gone and complained.
Jason, you were mentioning last night about the Queen's speech. And I've got to say, I had to watch it just to see what was being put out there. But the thing that got me the most is that she was saying, we'll be able to see our friends again. We'll be able to do that. And the last words were, because she mentioned about herself and Margaret doing the speech during the war, the thing that got me the most, that I wanted to kick the screen, is that she used those words from the old Vera Lynn song, "We'll meet again." And that was her last words. And to me, that's a trigger word.
I'll tell you what's getting me. I don't know if any of you...
Going.
Sorry, Jace.
I'm just saying now, we'll not meet. Know where she's fucking going.
What my question is, there's a lot of people posting online that was pre-recorded, and by the dates that I've seen, it was recorded on the 5th of March.
I was told that as well.
How the fuck a month ago did she know that we were going to be missing our friends and family?
Yeah, but these things that are so fucking obvious. These are the little nuggets that they give us to distract us away from what is really going on.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on, Jason? What is it?
Look at what we've had with David Icke today, right? David Icke did an interview. I listened to some of it. I did really well. I started taking notes, and then I just came up with it weren't really saying very much. He was talking about things that normal people wouldn't be able to, and I'm normal, I'm an ordinary person. That he was talking about things that would bamboozle me, and if I were to go and try and find that, I'd have to listen back 100 times at the spelling, that the way that he said it, and to try and find, that's what I found it were. But it's also he got on BBC, right? And anybody might go, "Oh, it's a master move." It's not a master fucking move, is it? The French people, when they were fucking in the rioting every fucking weekend in Paris were just about in flames every weekend for 20 odd weeks, for over a year, and God bless the French. 20 weeks. I know there's more than that. There's 52. But yeah, they did about a year's work. Not a single thing on the BBC yet. David Icke does something. It's watched by millions and millions and millions, and then it's deleted, and then then the BBC mention it, and so what's everybody going to do? What is everybody who reads that?
Try and find the David Icke.
Go and find it, aren't they? You've got to go and find it and find out what he said. And for me, that's again, it's like a little false nugget that's been put there for us. So then we're all scavenging over here at this little bit, whereas back behind us, this fucking other clever ants are fucking carrying away a fucking corn on cob, while those ants are fucking sucking on fucking lolly that's on the floor that's full of aspartame. That's I don't know what you people think. I mean, let's go round. Here's the round table. We'll start with you, Owen. What did you watch it, and what did you think?
I haven't managed to catch it yet. I've got one or two things to look at later on, and that's one of them. But I've always been on the fence with David Icke, always, because he had that celebrity status beforehand, and people knew of him. And if you think of all the interviews he did and all the times, the majority of the times that he was mentioned in the media, he was always being ridiculed. for whatever he did. So for me, I'm not saying he's paid, he's all a part of it. I just don't know. I'm very curious. I'm the same with Donald Trump. You know, it was the talk of all the children being released. What was it? 2,100 kids have been rescued and all the rest of it. Until I see that physical video evidence of that, I can't say whether that's right or not. You know, but with David Icke, definitely, I'm on the fence. But I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to take a look at that video later on.
Hey.
How about you?
Yeah, I did watch it purposefully because a couple of weeks ago, one of the first things I said about this was, if this is what Icke's been talking about for 30 years, where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
And he almost did nothing for well over a week. Then we had a couple of bits come out. He did an interview with Sean Atwood. There was a couple of other things that he did with a couple of people that were really, the audio was really shit on him. And you ended up getting a section, I wouldn't say edited, but a section of the interview. And then there was this big thing that came out yesterday. I would like to think that David Icke is what he claims to be, however. And probably asked me this question a year ago, and I'd have gone, fucking hell, lad, you're all mad. Of course he is. He's absolutely square, you know. But now I'm really, really not sure. The one person I was hoping to get on tonight was Mark Shieldestroy. I've just put a message in the thing and I can see him in the chat room. Because I know he's often got some good... what's it he's put in there? No, he's too fecked. Got to smoke for the first time in a bit low. Right. Mark, if you want to come on. But one thing I have to pick up on that as well is, past couple of days, I have been absolutely fucking knackered. And I've done nothing. I mean, literally slept 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours in bed. Finally got me fat ass out of bed. And then had to go from my chair onto the sofa because I just needed to lay down. And I've crashed out again for another 2 hours.
What have you been smoking?
A bit of weed.
Jammy bastard.
But nothing, absolutely nothing that would make me sleep like that. Nothing.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Thanks.
You can see through it because of the green screen.
Yeah. But seriously,
work, man.
And
that's me getting fucking raided in the morning, isn't
it?
So with the Icke thing, I'm really on the fence. The sleep thing is actually the thing that's bugging me at the minute, and I keep walking outside and looking at the lampposts outside and thinking, well, them LED things that they did about 18 months ago, have they finally just switched them on? Are they already in there? I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, before we get on to that, because I know that's something that's affected me myself, and probably other people, and my missus as well. But before we get on to that, let's just give Webby a shout at what we were talking about before.
Mr. Icke.
Thought of the David Icke, and then we'll go into the symptoms that we've been getting, because I know a lot of us have been getting symptoms. And if you're in the chat room and you've been getting symptoms over the last couple of weeks, anything, just pop it in there, and you probably find somebody that's had a similar symptoms. But before we get anywhere near there, Webby, what you make of David Icke? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I watched it live, and I've watched it again since. For me, he's still giving out information that is credible, but the BBC gives out information that's credible. It's where he draws the line. For me, he'll go so far with stuff. Maybe it's only because of where he is with all this. I mean, he keeps going on about 30 years of doing this stuff and writing all these books, and that's great. But the information that is coming out now, even though it's been in place what they've always wanted to do, it's only now that the infrastructure is actually being put into place. Whereas he seemed to be intimating that the 5G I couldn't say that he was making the connection that the 5G was causing the COVID or the corona, because I think that if anything, if the link for me, if anything, is that 5G is being installed while everybody's locked up and it's not up and running yet. I've still not experienced anything. I've had the new lamppost right outside my house now for what, best part of 4 or 5 years, maybe something like that. My sleep pattern never changed, but I was drinking very heavily when they first put that lamppost in. But no, even now, it's my sleep it's okay. It's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I mean, I've had 5 days off work and I've had no issues with sleep myself. No nosebleeds apart from blocked noses and stuff like that. But because with the stuff that we eat, the stuff that's in the earth, my fillings, I'm constantly always got mucus. You're constantly stuck with this stuff in the environment. If you're in a toxic environment, it's very hard to stay healthy no matter what you do. That's why you've got some of the fittest, most healthiest people dropping dead in the fucking 40s, and you think, Jesus, he goes to the gym every fucking day and he's dropped dead. And then they test him, he had corona. Well, this corona thing is now being stretched so much. But what has shocked me more than anything is how much the general public has bought into this. Yeah. They are complete to stand on your doorstep clapping. Now, I get that the NHS is on the front line, but when I'm seeing empty hospitals and I'm seeing nurses doing dances all together because there's nobody there to treat, what are you waiting for? Oh, we're waiting for that second wave. Hang on a minute. Is the first wave not really bad enough? Because now we're meant to be in a decline. Yet it's the highest number of figures who've died of corona. So the highest number of figures has died of corona. Pneumonia's down, corona's up. General flu is still higher than corona, yet we've shut a multi-trillion billion company down. And all the small businesses are the ones that are going. And I think this phase. I think it's the attack on the small businesses more than anything. I think you'll get a little bit back now. I can't see you going straight into the fucking Asda FEMA camps yet, mate. But who knows? This is uncharted territory for me. That everybody thinks that because you talk about 5G or you talk about this or you talk about that, that's what you believe. When this round table is actually to just throw questions in here, yes, and let us all either disagree, but let's disagree on good standing. Let's not just disagree because Jason's a dickhead. You're wrong because you're a dickhead. That's not right. It's not the way to go.
Right,
not the way to go.
I am a dickhead. You're right.
Yeah, I've
just noticed. I went on. I was looking for something and I can't remember what it was, but I found this story. And I don't know if anybody's seen this, but apparently you may have seen images from ICU wards in hospitals of coronavirus patients lying on their stomachs whilst being treated. I've not. Have you? Have you seen anybody lying on their stomach?
No.
I've not really looked.
I've seen mainstream media using footage of a mannequin on a
I've seen that
on a Gertie, and that's come out, and that's been questioned really well. Channel 4 used some footage that Sky had used, and it was the same footage from 3 years ago or whatever. You've then got to take in this Event 201, this drill that they did in, October. And it was about a coronavirus. And this is, the scenario, what they came up with is the scenario what we're playing. But people aren't picking up on this, and they're panicking, and they're running out and buying toilet rolls. There's no common sense. The common sense has gone out the window, and the people who've got common sense are stuck, and they don't know which way to look. But all you can do is ask these questions. Anybody now who wants to say, you're fucking wrong, I'll just go away, because
I have deleted so many people where I've seen profile pictures of Boris Johnson, Queen, and things like that, because it is, even I've said this before, looking at the UK and what's going on in the UK, every time I look at any sort of media, I'm shaking my head. Like you just said about the people clapping their hands for the NHS. I did it today. I put on Facebook today at 4:20. I want everybody to go out onto the doorstep and clap for Owen because I've no weed.
Yeah,
so the way I see it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's any opportunity. You know, was there a clap for Boris tonight or something? You know, and it's just that I can't understand why people would do that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I think maybe it's
what is it? It's an idiot test. How many idiots have you got? Okay, that's all it is. That's simply all it is. I want to get on to these symptoms, and I want to know if anyone in chat rooms had any symptoms.
Before we do that, can I get a word in and say about the things that I've been jotting down, but I couldn't get a word in?
Go on then, fatty.
Right, fuck off, bald cunt. Right. And he is, because he's had his haircut today, and I hope she pulled them all out with pliers rather than doing it with fucking shearers.
She did.
She did, didn't she?
Pliers.
Yeah, look.
Oh, good job, didn't she? Well.
You know this BBC Daily Update, which I clearly don't watch. But I have now noticed it's got to 2.25 hours. And earlier I thought, what the fuck do they say for 2.5 hours nearly? And then I thought, well, actually, we manage it. So, but, you know, how many stats can they come up with and how much fear-mongering can they come up with in over 2 hours? Hours of uninterrupted.
2 hours of
uninterrupted with no adverts, no breaks, no shit.
Because every 10 to 15 minutes, they use the same key rhetoric words. And then every time somebody clicks in, they hear the same key rhetoric words and they go,
there you go.
I don't need to watch any more of that.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's like, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Why do you think it says them fucking 3 rhetoric things on every podium that these people are talking from? Stay in, save lives, protect the NHS. It's bollocks. But people have bought into it, apart from all these people who are flooding into the parks, and these police are going around shouting at them all, and everybody up here is going, those dickheads down there going out are stopping me seeing my family. You're stopping you seeing your family. But I get that the fear is so great. I mean, I know people who's got parents who are like waiting to go for chemo because they've got cancer. How can they even risk that this is real? How can they put that risk? They can't. So you've got people socially distancing themselves, not seeing loved ones. All this infrastructure is being changed while this is going on.
Webby, people aren't socially distancing themselves. They are told to social distance, and that's what they're doing largely. On the whole, there are a few people. I've seen tons of people, the kids playing out back and everything, and I think it's brilliant, and I think they should do it. But they've told us it's mandatory. I mean, just tell you, they just say, oh, it's mandatory. Don't. Where were it read in Parliament, and
I want to get onto that a bit later, but earlier on when I was talking to my daughter Jess, she was on about this BBC thing. And straight away, I said, have you been watching the BBC? And she went, no, because it's bullshit, boring and crap. Which is just pretty much what my daughter's like. And if anybody's met her, you know exactly what I mean. Talking to my daughter the other day, she rang me and she got somebody scraped her car, wheel arch to wheel arch. So she's been up the street. And, of course, recently a lot of cars haven't been moving. She found the car, found the guy tonight. He's a doctor. So she's took this video and gone, excuse me, mate, you've hit my car, but you've not. Oh, well, you'll have to excuse me. I'm a doctor and I've been working a lot of hours. And in true Jess style, she basically said, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to video it. I want your name, your address. I want to know where you are because I want my fucking car fixing. But he was there going, oh, well, I'm a doctor. So she says, oh, well, you stood next to all them nurses who have got loads of time to do stuff and put it on TikTok because they've got fuck all to do. You know, and apparently he was a bit And she went, yeah. She says, because you're all doing this and people are clapping. She says, but you fuck all to do because there's no fucking coronavirus.
That's what makes me worry, Ade. What are they waiting for? Because if they're preparing for this and it's not happening, and it hasn't happened, why are you still doing this? What are you still ramping this up for? You lowered the status before you even locked anybody down. There's something not right about this.
My view is, I think they're going for the big thing with the money.
There's
Enough small businesses haven't declared
small
themselves
businesses
bankrupt
definitely,
yet.
yeah.
We've got. I think once we pass this bank holiday weekend, we get to a week today, and people are going to kind of go, hang on a minute. They said it was up to 2 weeks. We've now had 3.5. What the fuck's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I think once we get past the Easter thing, or even during the Easter weekend, hopefully, I don't know, but it's like Owen said earlier, he's got different dates for different countries. Just remind us what they were, Owen.
Here in Portugal, in Jamaica, they will stop the curfew between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Because, of course, as we've actually now worked out, it is a nocturnal thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That will end on the 16th, and they were told that straight away. Here in Portugal, I found out today via the social services is that it will be around about the 17th of April, where people are allowed to travel out of the Shire. So it's that as well. It doesn't feel right. Call it a gut instinct or something like that. It just doesn't. Nothing seems to fit together with it all. You get all these conflicting things. One of the other things I saw the other day is the Excel Centre has been used for the 4,000 beds. The Excel Centre in London.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Okay.
And apparently there are now 4,000 beds. There was a photograph of it, and I could ID it because I was down there some years ago when I worked for British Gas. We were filming an advert down there in the Excel, and it was said building, believe me. But even that, like Paul was saying earlier on, it's a ramping up of the fear, and I'm a big believer that if you're in fear, you're worried, your immune system is going to be lowered.
Definitely.
Simple as that, and you will be susceptible to anything. So all I've been doing is trying to make light as it as best as I can, because some people won't like what I'm doing. Some people may take offense with it, but I'm happy-go-lucky. And thinking about it, I've spent 2.5 years in isolation, guys. After my wife left and everything else, I was in Portugal in a village, not being able to drive, not being able to get anywhere. I was isolated. I was social distancing, without knowing. So I know what isolation can do, especially when you've got just 4 walls and you can't get anywhere or do anything. You've got to think positive. You've got to think positive about it and not let the fear and the shit get to you, because that's what they want. That's my view.
I tried to interrupt a couple of times there, but you weren't having it. I just said to you, I was just going to say to you, Owen, what I would have done in your situation is I would have done exactly what you'd done, and then I would have said, she's got Madeleine McCann buried in that garden.
Hey, thanks for that.
Sorry, I know we shouldn't laugh at the thought of a young girl dying or whatever.
I shouldn't, but I'm just thinking of my situation.
We're not laughing at that. Oh my God, she's fucking. Listen, we're not laughing at that. We're laughing at the story and the ludicrousness of it. We're not laughing at a young girl dying.
Yeah.
We don't know where she is, Ade. She's somewhere around the world. They've got some more money. They'll find her.
They'll find her, and then she'll get coronavirus.
Yeah,
that's what she's died from,
What do you reckon about Boris? Do you reckon they're going to do with Boris? Do you reckon they're going to kill him off or what? Because it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it?
Oh, it could be the sacrifice. It could be the sacrificial bunny.
Yeah, I was saying that to the guys here the other day, is that as soon as I heard that he was going into hospital, I went, there you go. The Queen did her speech last night to strengthen the nation. Boris has gone down with an illness. what's going to happen next is that, he may die or whatever it is, because, he's gone from going into hospital into intensive care. As far as I know, I don't know what the update is now with him. I don't really care, to tell you the truth. But you never know.
Now.
Well,
Is he the sacrificial lamb?
Somebody sent me through PDF documents. I mean, I can only verify them as far as the from like a, I forget what it's called. It's like a court.com website or something. But the people that are named on it, on this affidavit, people like Bill Gates, Barack Obama, all these people are named on this affidavit that's gone into a court. So there could be these big things that are happening. I mean, there's definitely a power grab going on at the top.
I hope so.
There is a power grab, but again, whoever wins this power grab, they may offer us world peace, but they're not going to give.
Hang on a minute, who do you think she is?
Give us anything.
Miss World. It's Boris Johnson we're talking about, not fucking Miss Universe.
No. I said who wins the power grab, not Boris Johnson. Who wins this power grab? Who wins this power grab?
Bill Gates.
Well, do you know what? How the fuck is he pushing for these vaccines? He patented this coronavirus, or a strain of it.
Money.
He patented it in 2015. He patented it in 2015. Now there's this big scandal about it, but he's going to save everybody by giving them another vaccine. I think Ade always touches on about the vaccine injury. $4.1 billion that's paid out.
Yeah,
4.1 billion.
But you see, they'll stick him on the BBC. There'll be a general report that will be then given to every broadcaster, and it'll be, Bill Gates is doing this, and he's put all this money into this for you. Like he's some kind of fucking hero. Not like he's some cunt that's poisoning everybody in every fucking country they'll let him walk in. Just to
answer John Smith, me and British Gas are at Mexican standoff. They gave me a cheque for £5 last week for being in credit. That's where I'm at with British Gas. They just don't bother with me, and I'm happy with that. It's that simple.
Is it Ofcom have put a rule in now for broadcasters? Is that they're not allowed to mention the 5G and the coronavirus, in the same news story? But
did that come from Ike?
Giving people like Bill Gates airtime?
Yeah, did that come from Ike though?
Say again?
Did that come from David Icke?
No, I read this. It wasn't from David Icke when I saw this. It was just a report that was there.
Right.
But that just gets me. Is that they'll turn around and say you can't have these two subjects, otherwise you'll be fined or whatever. But yet they will promote this person.
Yeah.
And surely we'll see.
Just something I forgot about the Ike thing as well. How I first came across it was, I got a notification from David Icke, just because I'm on his YouTube thing. Not that I fucking know him, You're
not in the same lodge, are you, Ed?
No. And it said, "Need your help." Actually, my mate Paul just sent it back to me. Urgent from David Icke, need your help. And it was where are we? It was basically him saying, this has been took down off BitChute, it's been took down off YouTube. It's still on davidicke.com, but it wasn't. You had to go to London Real to watch it when I tried to watch it. And it all, just seems a bit, I guess just hanging on what Jason said, but I'm still very, very much on the fence. Very much.
I've got a copy that was sent to me off Google Drive, but it's also on Vimeo as well and BitChute. It's on BitChute as well. It's they've had to put it on everything.
Took off.
Yeah, it keeps coming off.
I put it on BitChute.
It's just this 5G thing. Because of the court case, and I'm very skeptical about people who take court cases, because court cases can go forward for two reasons. One, to really do something positive, or do something really negative by looking like you're doing something really positive. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So now with this 5G being pronounced and all these cell towers suddenly being attacked, there's something a bit too tasting too convenient. If you get, do you get what I mean, lad?
Yeah. Listen, guys, you have to excuse me for a minute or two. I'm going to nip outside for a cigarette. I'm not smoking indoors, okay? Back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, of course. You're going for a shit, aren't you?
At least I've got air.
Yeah, some fucker else's.
Hey! See you in a minute or two.
Yeah, a couple of things I just want to say as well. When my son's had to be up the hospital recently as well because of his other half, and I said to him about, like, I bet it's busy, isn't it? And he went, no, nobody's there. And I went, what? It's really quiet. And he went, no, nobody's there.
Exactly.
Like nobody.
It is
nobody
Robert.
Walking down the corridors. Nobody up and down in the lifts. Can't smell food. None. Just no. A&E as good as shut because there's nobody in it. Apart from the people who are doing the videos and putting them up on TikTok, all the nurses who've got nothing to do.
My godson posted of our local hospital, A&E, completely and utterly empty. Yet, where's all this testing? I mean, we locally we've not had a corona for 3 days. Yeah, I'm bloody sure there's people going round if they were tested. But like I said, you've got these testing kits that can't really properly test for it because they're already contaminated with corona on some of them. So why is anybody buying into this, Ade? What's the brainwashing technique? We're at one point, because for me, what they've done, they've made a massive jump here. This isn't a tiptoe thing. They've made a massive jump, a statement here.
This is bigger than I ever thought they would ever do.
Exactly. In one go, the potential of it. Not that I'm not saying that we're going on cattle cars tomorrow, but the jump that they've made from where they've been going for the last 25 years, this is a hell of a jump. This is 9/11 and 7/7 on top of, it's then put together. You've got to have all your rights taken from this because this invisible enemy that you keep hearing in the rhetoric, it's invisible. You don't know. You might not have symptoms. That man next to you might not have symptoms, but he might have it. And you've got people who are going out dressed as dinosaurs to keep people away from them. It's weird. It's weird.
I went to the shop. I went to the shop this morning. One of my neighbours, bless her, was good enough to send me a text saying, did I want anything from the shop? Because she knows that I've not got a car anymore. Or a job. Cheers. So, and I sent her a text back, any chance I can come with you? Not knowing really what she'd text back. And she just said, yeah, going at about 9:30. Oh, cool. So I got up, went. She went in one shop, I went in another shop. And it's just, you've got a trolley, you're walking towards somebody and you can see it's just there. Fucking hell, he's walking towards me, look, that I could see on her face if only she hadn't got a fucking mask on, some gloves that look like a tyre fitter had been using them, because she's had them that on fucking long, that they're even more dirty and disgusting than their hands would ever be. Do you know what I mean? And this woman's diving up a fucking aisle just because I'm walking towards her.
Yesterday, I was behind a bloke, right? A young lad, must be mid-20s, sort of, right? And he's got these fucking latex gloves on, right? And he's at Co-op in front of me, and I think it were about 40 quid. It were about 47 quid, right? So he's got 40 quid in his hand, and he goes, oh, hang on a minute. Puts the fucking money in his mouth, puts his hand back in his wallet, gets out another tenner, and then goes, there you go. And I'm thinking to myself, what?
And he's poking it through the screen. The woman at the shop today, she says to me, I went, pardon? She says, I went, what? And she went, and she stuck her head underneath the fucking hole. She went, it's £47.50. Is it cash or card? But the screen that was there meant I couldn't fucking hear her, and she's still got to go, and then when I pulled out cash, she's like, Oh my God, he's really going to give me cash. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, listen. Let's just let everybody know we're watching. You're watching Raconteurs News. It's our Tuesday edition, and we're having a bit of a round table. We're talking COVID-19, or whatever it's called these days. I don't know. Everything has so many fucking names. I don't get that either. ISIS has had ISIL and fucking Daesh and fucking.
One of the best ones I heard, Jace, was controller virus.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about that. Hello to everyone who's in the chat room. Believe me, we are going through the chat, reading the chat. You know where it is, don't you, Webby?
Yeah, I'm watching it, mate.
Yeah. So we're watching the chat. It's just it's going quite quickly, and because there's four of us, the debate's going on, and so it's getting it's a little bit difficult to read them out. But Good evening to everybody in there. Cake Ola, Apple, Charlotte, of course, our enforcer, Lion Share as well. New being, she's from Sweden. I wonder what's going on there. I mean, because they're not doing it, are they?
They're not on lockdown.
They're just not fucking. They're just doing what they want. It'd be interesting to know what's going on over there.
But there's loads of shit there, isn't there?
Logan, Bandit Buster, Simon Wadsley. If I haven't mentioned your name, I surely have seen it, and thank you for being in there. If you don't mind, if you give us a thumbs up, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, it's always like even fucking thumbs down. I mean, we've got this guy who keeps is for the last 3 shows, he's commented underneath what a fucking bunch of idiots we are, and each individual time I put thanks for watching. Then the second time, I call you fucking idiots, you're conspiratards and Guinness all that. Someone called Keith Simmons or Kimmins or something like that.
Was that written though, Jace? Were they writing that? And in here?
No, not in chat box, in comments after the show. And so he wrote another nasty comment. So I wrote again, thank you for watching again. And then today he called us all names. It said that it were a comedy, best comedy. I said, oh, well, at least you're watching us all the time. It's the best comedy on.
Can I ask you
on YouTube? So
can I ask the guy whether it's a black comedy or not? Sorry. I've just been out because my phone's outside, so I can get a better reception, and it's transferring. Obviously, I'm sharing it onto my computer here. But I've just noticed on Messenger, I've just got a message from an old school pal. If I could just quickly read it to you off this other screen, and it says, "Finally, FBI arrested a professor from Boston University who was in connection with the Chinese University research lab in Wuhan, and was highly paid by China." Now, it's very close to clear that coronavirus is a bio-attack planned and conducted by China. A Chinese expert assures everybody that inhalation of steam from hot water kills the coronavirus 100%, even if the virus entered the nose, throat, lungs. Coronavirus cannot stand hot water, steam. Please circulate this information to all your family and friends. And underneath it, there's a video. I've not watched the video yet, but there's a video linked to that.
Can you somehow to Jason?
Say it again, sorry.
Can you somehow send that on to Jason?
I will do now, yeah, no worries.
Can I just somehow send it to me? And send it in post. Print it off and send it me in post.
I'll send it via the mail service. Yeah, hang on, let's see if I can get it.
Proper old school.
No. Hey, Owen, we're in Yorkshire, we only use pigeons.
Yeah,
I've sent it on Facebook Messenger, Jason.
Send it by Raven.
Send
it by Raven. I just want to answer Andy Kerr's question in the chat room. Would you be fined if you refused a vaccine? Would you accept a fine? Would you accept a penalty?
No.
Exactly.
Can I
that's where this is going. It's if you're willing to take a vaccine rather than draw a line and stand up. I don't know what the answer is to that to you. They are going to take it and try and impose a fine like they do anyway. people will argue about double yellow lines. There is no law for double yellow lines. It's a highway code, double yellow lines. So there is no law for it. The only way they can say is if you stop commerce, or if there's a jubilee, if the Queen's come in and you can't park there. Anything else is commercial. So the fine will be a commercial fine. It's all aimed at commerce. It's if you're going to participate in that. That's like playing the Monopoly game. You've landed on my train station. You owe me 200 quid. Why? I'm not going anywhere. I don't want a ticket. It's a different way of thinking, and we've all been taught the opposite. So it feels alien to stand up for yourself. And we're in this country. We just get on with it, don't we? I mean, for Christ's sake, I've seen a photograph of people queuing outside Lidl, and there was this old girl with a ginger cat sat in front of her at the doors, just sat there. Even the cat was queuing outside Lidl. It's just how we've ended up in this way. I've got that. If you want to see a little bit of that clip, I don't know if it'll work, but I might be able to share this, the video, what we were talking about, if I can.
Hey, you had your hand up. What were you wanting to say?
Yeah, just tying in with what Webby's saying. John Tommy put in the chat room. New laws, that's interesting, a new statute or an act, not a law, allowed police to enter any house without a warrant and arrest anyone without them committing a crime. Right. We've got this wonderful thing in England, and it's called common law. And it just means fuck off until I tell you you can. Because common law says it deals with flesh and blood, men and women. Death, harm, loss, breach of the peace. That's it. Covers everything. They don't need your name for that. You shoot somebody in the head, copper sees you do it, you're in the van, you've gone. Even if you never tell them your name, they will still lock you up for 25 years when they find you guilty. They don't need a name. The minute it's, what's your name? That's a contract.
Yeah, listen. It's very. We've been through this millions and millions of times before, and I'm sure everyone listening understands that a bit. How do you? I know that this is how you can. What I'm trying to say is, how do we get people from the people that do say no, I'm not going to give you my name, against the people that say, oh yes, I'll just do whatever I'm told? How do we get a tipping point on that? Because we know what the answers are. We can sit here all day and we can tell them what answers are. Answers is in common law. Don't do this. Don't do that. But the thing is that if you don't give them your name, they'll arrest you. They'll take you down. They'll take your fingerprint, and then they'll impose an identity upon you. That's because that's what they do. So I mean all right. I mean, you could try it for a bit, but I really won't push it.
Martial law suspends all that, Jace. You're right. Martial law.
We're not doing that though, are we? Coppers are just taking people fucking and doing what they want. They think they've got a carte blanche to do what they want. They see anybody out in public, they can arrest them.
That's what they're being told from the top, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Although the chief constable
what's he going? Oh, common law. I claim common law. It's not going to do anything. I'm still going to be arrested. The best way to do it is say, I'm not going to give me details. I understand what's going to happen, right? I know what's going to happen, and you should just get on with it, because I'm not going to move from my position of not giving you my details. And then, it's because if you just stand here and you just keep quoting laws, they're just going to get sick of you and fucking find some breach of the peace or section 5, section 4, section 3.
It's different as well. It's different to where you are on the map as well, because where I am, Merseyside Police Constable is instructions to his force is you don't approach the general public. You still don't do that. You don't stop them and ask them where you're going. And yet Nottingham, Derby, further down south, they're being arrested. I was just going to see if I could share this with you. See what you think. Let me know if it's working.
I've got it here. Just hang on.
Yeah, I think I've got it coming. Yeah.
Can't hear it.
No.
Hang on.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen it. That's not far off.
You can't hear it?
No, we can't hear it, mate.
No.
Well, I can't anyway.
Right, I'll stop.
Yeah. That's the one I saw. I saw that one as well. That, like I was saying with that, he's talking to this poor woman that sat there on the bench. And yet, I can't remember how long into the video it is, but you see the 6 people that just go walking past and the police do nothing about that. They don't stop and approach these people and saying, what you're doing. They seem to be just latched onto this one woman that's been sat there. And that's what it is. There's no clarity in the term of exercise. And as the lady was saying, it's mentally exercising. And if you think about cabin fever and everything else like that, everybody has a right to do that. You don't have to be physically doing physical exercise. If you're free in your mind, you're getting out of your house because you've been staring at the 4 walls, you can't do anything else. So if you're allowed to exercise, she's out. She has exercised because she's walked to that point. But she sat down reflecting on what's going on. Now, you show me where that's a crime. Nobody can show me where that's a crime because the woman is exercising. And she's exercising her right to do so.
That's
one of the things I remember them saying as well. Yeah, one of the things that was said as well is that the government, they didn't say you couldn't go out. It was, they would prefer it if you didn't leave your home when it originally started. So, the goalposts are forever changing. So for me, the goalposts are forever changing to confuse.
Yep.
And that's only going to compound the matter, isn't it?
It for me,
it's the most polite arrest I've ever seen, though. It really was the politest arrest I've ever seen in my life.
The thing that when you got people, and it is about how you, I don't know, if somebody's going to come up to you, a set of police or whatever, and you want to engage with them, well, just don't engage. And the one good thing is if they arrest you and lock you up, at least you ain't got to worry about queuing for any fucking food for the next 3 days, have you?
Well, that was the other thing as well, going on about fining people. How the hell are people going to pay the fines when there's no work? People are struggling enough as it is. So, where are they going to get the money from to pay these fines if nobody's working? Everybody's been on lockdown.
Yep.
So, are they going to go to the magic money tree?
That's us.
I don't get
magic money tree.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
It's frustrating just to see that. I mean, it's as clear as the nose of your face that something isn't right. Something is not right. I mean, we've known about what's been going on in the background for some time now. And looking at this as it's happening, it's not like I told you so or anything like this. Nothing to do with that. But it's so obvious. Things are so obvious. There are little things there that people must realize that there's something not quite right going on here.
Yeah.
I'm just... Can you not see what's going on at the bottom of the screen, Ade?
You're being slandered, Ade.
How has he worked out how to do that? I didn't think he was clever enough to do that.
He's been playing.
Once paid a... Oh, I was reading that.
He's been watching a Yocho video.
Do you know, I stuck up for you, Jason. Somebody said you weren't fit to live with pigs. And I fucking disagreed because you are fit to live with pigs.
Well, I appreciate that, mate. That's really, really good. really. Oh, yeah. Let's.
Other cheap lager is available. I've heard this is my first one. Hey, what can you do? 10 quid for 18 cans. It's cheaper than a little bottle of milk or a bottle of water.
Well, of course it is, and it's just as hydrating as well. It'll make you piss in the middle of the night.
Hey, I'm 54 years of age. I don't need anything to make me piss in the middle of the night. It's just normal.
You know, it's my 50th next month. So that's been cancelled, hasn't it?
Welcome to the club.
Wow.
Welcome to the club.
Well, no, everything's been cancelled, so my birthday's not going to happen. So therefore, I get to be 49 for another year.
Well, why not? We don't know what year we're in. We don't know what year we're in anyway, do we?
That's it. Exactly that way.
Sorry, I've just Gary Yates has put some that's what I was looking for on my other thing, but I didn't want to open another browser. Gary Yates, there's a link there, commonlawcourt.com. Have a look. I know Bex and Karen swear by this thing. I've actually registered my birth on it, so now I own my birth apparently. Don't know much more, but that site has got some really good stuff on about what common law is and what statutes and acts aren't. So it's well worth a look. And it's just in the chat room now, so click.
It's still the highest law in this land.
Absolutely.
Just we're hanging onto it with this leap that they've done right now, and people clapping for things to happen. We're just holding onto it, mate.
What is it somebody said to me the other day? There were sheep that turned into seals or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you know what, though, lads? I get the sentiment. I really do. And that's what this emotional wave is. If you look at this reality and are reacting through emotion and not paying attention, that's where they've got you. That's the difference. We've all been there, lads. We've all been into that indoctrination where it was birds, booze, and football. That was it. As long as I've got that, I don't want anybody else to mind me. I'll keep paying my bills with. That's all I would have done. But when it's right in front of you and massive things like this are happening, yeah, I don't understand. If you've looked at history, I love history. If you're a history buff, you've seen this happen time and time again through history. Yet this is going to be a technocratic one. This is the Chinese system virtually being built while you're in your house. You know, this isn't. It's not going to be fun and games. But how many people? Was it you, Jace, that hit the nail on the head earlier, where you said how many people of those people who were clapping are going to be the first ones who go, yeah, I'll have that vaccination, get me out the house, and that'll get me to this job, and then all of a sudden you've got a balance. You've got that Brexit and Remain thing going again, and you've got now. The person in charge of Labour was in charge of the CPS when Jimmy Savile's case came up, and the one in charge of the Conservatives was Home Secretary, and they made the paedophile ring case just disappear. Yet they're in charge of both parties now. That you're going to argue who's going to be best for you. If that doesn't wake people up and you still vote for Labour because your dad did, what can you say to people like that? You know, we're the four fucking conspiracy idiots that sit around and chat shit. Yet, you know, what do you say to these people who just spew bollocks like that? I've had people, ex-police officers, say, that's a load of fucking shite. Have you ever read any of it? Do you know anything about it? No, I don't know anything about it. Why is it a load of shite then? Why is it nonsense? Because it is. Because it is.
They're brainwashed.
That's ignorance.
All they know is they've got you to say yes after understand.
Yeah,
that's it.
No, you can be ignorant, Owen, right? And then I show you new information and you'll go, oh, fuck me. I'm not ignorant anymore. That's information. But when I show you information and you go, I'm not interested in that, that's stupidity. That's not ignorance.
That's it, Jace.
I'm going to have to pull
The other way, mate. The other way.
That way. Pass it here, man.
Hang on. Owen.
You keep it up there.
Coming up.
Oh, no. There you
Cheers,
go.
man. Hang on. How's that happened?
There you go. Hang on. Oh, hang on a minute. If I go like that. Because your hands are white underneath, aren't they? So it's like.
Listen, Owen. I'm sick of doing this to you. You've got to stop blacking up. People don't like this kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Next time, I will no longer be sooty. Okay, I'll be as white as a sheet.
No, mate.
I'll tell you what. Next time, you cover yourself in white, and Jason can black up, and we'll compare.
Yes, how's that, Jason?
I'll tell you what. I would make a much better looking white guy than Jason would make look like.
Hey, but Jason's got the Jamaican accent, hasn't he?
Yes, he's got it off to a T. I can only do a Welsh one.
Oh yes, that's Welsh,
isn't it?
Oh, lovely.
What is this jacket? It is smoking this weed here in Jamaica.
Beer can.
Oh no, that's a beer can. Anyway, I just want to get on to something. There's one thing I did write down the other night, and I don't think I said it. Did nobody whisper in the background while Queenie was doing her hello? Did nobody shout paedophile son, paedophile son, paedophile son in her ear? Because it is actually really convenient at the moment, isn't it? That nobody's got time to ask about anything else other than coronavirus. Because now nobody's interested in kids shagging kids. You know, people in the royal family doing that. And nobody's asking questions about that anymore, are they? I
can tell you this, Ade, right? If somebody in that crew that was filming that, whenever it was filmed, whether it were 5th of March or 5th of April, nobody was who got an earpiece and she could hear was saying, paedophile son, paedophile son, paedophile son.
If I'd have got the gig, it fucking would have.
They'd have fucking gone to Tower and all sorts.
I know, but I mean, I've worked in there.
Can you imagine somebody just going, pedo?
Pedo? Yeah.
Yes, your son is a paedophile. Yeah, it is pretty. It's pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? Though that how we're all getting behind Boris. I mean, we need to pray for him. I don't mean him any harm at all. I don't think he's got fuck all.
I know you don't see the news, Ed, but you know Boris is in hospital, don't you?
Well, yeah, so you've said, yeah. I mean, when I say I don't watch mainstream, I mean, I really don't. And, you know, it took me, I think Dale Winton had been dead about 3 months before I even fucking knew.
Dale Winton's dead?
Is he dead?
When did that
not
happen?
him, the other one. Not Dale. No, not Dale Winton. The other one.
Which
other one? The other Dale Winton.
Julian Clary, you're thinking about?
Jermaine Clary?
Oh, it's Dale Winton. It is Dale Winton, you silly bollocks. Oh, he had half a can. Look, honestly, I really don't watch mainstream. Also, I just tend, you know, people be talking to me, and just because it's topical, they'll mention it, and I'll go, "Oh, right, okay." And that is literally.
Ade's the sort of guy that's just found out who shot JR.
It was JR.
I was going to say that was a dream, but that was Bobby, wasn't it? Bobby dying was a dream.
Yeah, that was a dream. Yeah.
You know, the only thing that I was bothered about that time was the fact that it was Live Aid. About that time, wasn't it?
Live Aid.
Oh, God, fucking hell, don't get us on that. Anyway, we've got 35 minutes left, and I think we've still got tons and tons of things to talk about that could make you, I mean, the trans people the trans people, these people here, they've all become rather silent all of a sudden. So it shows that it wasn't anything that, you know, that was building momentum. It weren't some organic. It was something that were made Manufactured, shall we? We've not got any of that anymore. We seem to have lost the. We seem to have lost the
ability to speak.
You were talking about earlier. You were talking about symptoms. And
yeah,
I'm the same as you. Tired.
Honestly, mate. And I don't mean a bit tired. I mean, I've got to fucking lay down. I can't. I've got a beautiful leather sofa, and I hardly sit on it. But today, I had to shift all the cushions off it. You know, the ornamental cushions. Shifted them all off, and I just went, and I crashed out. I'd only been up 3 hours, 4 hours, and I was fucked. And all I'd done was go shopping and come back.
Have you got the LED lights outside your place?
You what? Sorry,
LED lights outside your place.
Yeah.
LED lights. Have you got them outside your place? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just completely fucked.
Same here. Me, my missus is working from home at the moment, but she's not doing much work because she can only get on at certain points, and it's all blah blah blah. And today, it took me all I could to wheel myself into my little lift and get up here to set this up for tonight. And then I went back downstairs, sat on settee and fell asleep.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm just sleeping constantly. Constantly sleep. Whenever I get any chance, I don't know whether they're trying to put us back to sleep. I don't know whether I know people don't like that phrase, but are they trying to do that? I mean, are they human?
Well, but you see, you get all these people who go, they won't do that. No, they fucking are doing. And all you're doing is bending over and can't wait to be shafted. Because they would.
Yeah, I mean, have you got clear skies over there? Can anybody see the supermoon? It's massive. I went outside. Sorry?
Ade saying no. We've got really clear skies here, man. You're only about.
No, earlier on, they were spraying quite a lot.
They have sprayed over here, but I've not seen the moon yet.
Just on that, I mean, it is massive, but I mean, to me, it's only really been the last, maybe 4 or 5 years that this supermoon thing has been happening. Or can anybody tell me any different? I've never known them being called supermoons. And, it's just been full moons or whatever it is. But all of a sudden, the past few years have been given.
Yeah, I've heard supermoons from the, from when I used to do mediumship and stuff like that. I used to, this group of people that would be in the different circles. You'd always have people who were the pagans, and they'd always talk about supermoons and certain dates that, even though you might not be saying it's a massive moon, it'd still be classed because of the date as supermoons. It's all about energies that some of these people work in, but I haven't got a clue what's going on. You've got stuff happening with the moon. There's a post going online that somebody's filmed the moon a few days back, and you see these things. Nobody knows what's true anymore. And the more information that gets put out, let's put it this way: the more truth that comes out, the flooding more shite out to try and cover it. Yeah. And there's plenty of people who are still distracted enough to not notice it. Whereas there's people now getting covered in shite and going, I'm getting covered in shite here. This doesn't seem right. What's going on? And that's where you've got the...
What's going on? There we go.
What the fuck's going on?
1 hour.
What's going on?
And 40.
Calm down.
There you go. There's the wedding go. The full house. If you got that house.
I saw a video the other day. It was a guy, and he came out of his house. It was in this state. He came out of his house and he was panning the street or the drive where he lived, and everything was covered in a dust. But the thing about it is, this guy picked up a magnet, and his magnet obviously attracted everything that was there. So there's it's like Webby was saying. There's loads of distractions out there, and other things are happening. But obviously, with censorship and everything else getting tighter and tighter, these things that are truly happening aren't happening. Down to Ade.
And I know I say this a lot, probably even more than I used to say every day is a school day, but the only thing we can be fucking sure of is that shite that's coming out the BBC is exactly that.
Yeah.
Shite.
Agreed.
Mainstream media, you know, it's just shite. Anything else is up for debate, round table, having a laugh at, poking a finger at. Have these two fucking finished what, eh?
Jace.
Do you know what
Jace,
this reminds me of? This reminds me of. Can you remember when Vic and Ade Edmondson and they did a university challenge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Scumbag College. Scumbag College.
It's just that, isn't it? It's the young ones. That's what this is. It's the young ones on university challenge.
Yeah, love that one. Yeah, Rick and Ade Edmondson, young ones.
Fantastic.
From back in the day.
That's what this is. That's what it looks like.
We should be doing that, shouldn't we? DJ
But
Tune.
no, honestly, what I was just saying was before you two were pissing about.
For all you truthers out there, here's some sexy tunes.
You're not going to
Go on,
play
Ade.
Marvin Gaye. What's going on, are you?
I'm not going to play it out. I said some sexy tunes.
You know, it really is that the way they can manipulate these figures, and clearly are doing. And a good example is, 500,000 people are going to die. Really, probably not going to get to 1,000 even on the fucking official figures, mate. You know, which is a lot less than normal flu. 1,400 people a day die of normal things every day. Every day. And they're all being...
Every day. People die every day. Every day. Every day.
The other day, didn't
There's a song in there, Heath. There's a song in there, Heath, if you're listening.
He'll never get it out of
Just
that.
that figure that I gave you earlier on in Jamaica, 21.64 cases per 1 million. Where's that from? 21.64. Are they cutting people?
Yeah, I'm just looking for my calculator. Sorry, yeah, it's fucked. Like theirs is clearly.
Webby's made a good point about he's posted in private chat an article from The Guardian. Tell us about that, Webby.
That discharged prisoners are being given travel warrants now to travel on public transport if they've tested positive for COVID-19. Again, we've discussed this. We can't test for COVID-19, so that means it's going to be coronavirus, which is everybody. So
yeah,
if this is, you know, they're not this stupid. If it's so bad, these lads wouldn't be getting this. It doesn't work like this. Do you know what I mean?
This is not just martial law. This is martial law. And by the way, we're going to give you a really fuckload of bullshit as to why you've got it, but you fucking are having it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Well, if you look at this, Ed, now what they're talking about, I mean, Bill Gates was talking about immunity passports, wasn't he?
Yeah,
well,
that's
this
right.
immunity passport is if you've got to have this biometric type tattoo thing, and they'll be able to tell because they can scan you. And if you've got that tattoo, you can have your immunity passport. That means you can travel. So if they've got everybody, if they've got everybody now willingly staying in their own houses, and bear in mind we're going into week 3. People still feel like they're on holiday. They've jacked the freezers up. They've spent time with the families. You know, they can't see each other, but close families, they've spent time with each other. So you can feel like a holiday. But all of a sudden, what about when the bills start coming through again? Because there's no post coming through with bills and stuff like that. But yet I still know bailiffs, sir. going about. Traffic wardens are still collecting revenue. Revenue is obviously an essential part of the work in a Black Plague type pandemic.
Webby, K-Callers put, why no rebate on road tax? Fucking good point.
Mate, you know this suspension on MOTs? People
Yeah.
are trying to tax the cars and it's going, you can't because of the MOT status. So they can't tax the cars. So they're going to end up getting pulled up for no fucking tax.
Fucking brilliant.
Wow.
Doesn't that show you that the people that you call your leaders are as dumb as fuck?
Somebody voted for him, mate.
Wow.
Not as
Fucking
dumb
hell.
as us, folks.
That's it.
Well, I tell you
That
what,
alone,
Going back to the
that
Well,
alone
I
should tell
just-
people
I just
why.
wanna say, we are going to get a right kicking from that fucking bloke that hates us tonight. So, lads, you just smarten up a bit, right? Pull your fucking ties up, like Brian Gerrish, and act as if you're all awesome and that. Yeah, but
okay.
Go on, hey,
Just going back to
Owen.
yeah, just in the private chat there, Webby, the Universal Law Community Trust. I think he's off his Webby. I can't ask him, but I'll say something else as well. One of the things that does concern me the most is that it's something that I read the other day. There's a lot being going on within child services about children that have an abusive parent or parents. The health system is knackered as we know it, but when this thing does die down, we're surely going to have an influx of even more, even worse cases of where these children, because there's no schools and they have to be at home with the parents. What's going to happen there? How do we know that there's been tragedies because of this abuse? Nothing's being said about things like that. Nothing's being looked into. It's as if you're all under house arrest, and there's nothing we're going to do about it. Anything that happens it happens within your own. But we can't come in because you might spread the virus. Yeah. So there's going to be a massive knock-on effect for, families. People that are there with an abusive partner. Once again, they're stuck there in that situation. They've got nowhere else to turn. The services that they need are shut because of the virus lockdown. So what happens to those poor people?
They're just going to die. That there are going to be.
I didn't want to say that, but
there are going to be people who are need regular checkups for, I don't know, cancer care, for heart care, whatever, who are not going. Take me 18 months ago. I had 3 different heart things. I had my heart stopped and started again. And I had to go and get regular ECGs and all the rest of it. And the drugs that they try and balance you on, it's fucking not easy. There was one drug they wanted to put me on, and I had to have a half-hour training session on it. And I went, well, I don't want it then. She said, what do you mean? It's all about, I said, clearly, this thing is fucking dangerous and I don't want any part of it. But all those people going to like cardiology units, it's not happening. So what's happening to them? Mm-hmm. Oh. And even though those people are dying, the average amount of people dying per day compared to last year is still the fucking same.
Yeah.
So where are all these corona victims? All they're doing, they're being rebadged.
Yes.
People
I know.
Massaging of figures.
I mentioned them. Yeah, I put on the chat last night is that I had my first heart attack at 35 when I was working at a supermarket. I'm not going to mention the name, but the lady that administered helped me. Yeah, well, Sainsbury's. Okay, when I worked at Sainsbury's.
Other heart attacks are available.
Yeah, the lady that assisted me died of cancer last Saturday. But what was she classed as when she died? The virus. And I know that she suffered from cancer for a long while. So the figures are being manipulated. It's even not, people are going in with genuine illnesses, and
even David Icke. even David Icke brought up Eddie Large. He's had heart problems for years.
Yeah.
And he
Wrong,
went in
wrong,
with heart
Tommy.
issues.
No, it was the other one.
No, wrong again.
He's just been a dick. He did say he was a dickhead.
It's that second pint of vodka and coke. That's what it is. Yeah, Webby, I put in the private chat there the Universal Law Community Trust. I think it's a lady called, is it Elizabeth Molson? A lady like that.
Elizabeth Knowlson.
Yeah, because I was watching the video last night because I remember going to see that good outstanding chap, Peter of England. He was around about 2013, 2014 with the re-bank. And I think what they're doing in the Universal Law Community Trust is that they are helping somewhat with these people that handed these checks, to pay the bills, the We Are Bank checks. She's got a video on YouTube, and I just wanted to know if you've seen it and what your thoughts were on that, because obviously I was interested because when I came across Peter of England at one of the meetings, and I didn't sign up because there was something not right about him because he's charging people, to get the checkbooks and everything else. But after watching the video that this lady did on YouTube last night, it made me think that maybe that is a possible remedy. And I wanted to ask you, obviously, knowing as you do about the bills of exchange, what your thoughts were on it.
I've not looked at if it is it the lady that's in Greece that buys your debts?
Yes. That's the one.
Yeah, I looked into it briefly a long time ago, but it's that she's again. You were talking about people who charge money. I don't know if she's charging, if she's making anything from it. But
no, she isn't. No,
she's doing nothing that you can't do yourself. But I certainly wouldn't say don't look at her information, mate. I never say that. Go and look at her information and weigh it up and see how it works. Like I said, I've only briefly looked at it because, I had my mind on one or two other things as when Elizabeth started doing that. But I have heard of her. And with everything, you've got people who say that it's good and people who say it's bad. You've got to go and look at everything for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some people have posted recently in videos that ignore this information, only look at this information. If it's not here, it's not right. Yeah. And that suddenly makes me put those people at arm's length because I wouldn't want to direct anybody to anything other than which is, the only thing is the bills of exchange, and that because it affects everything and everyone. That's it. But I wouldn't say don't look at this information, but don't look at that. Go and look at it all. If you've not got all the information, you've not got the right. You can't.
That's it.
The common law court one. I put the link in the chat room earlier. What I liked about that was, if you just want to register something so that you've got a reference to go to later if you need it, there's no cost at all. Nothing. And that kind of, maybe it was to draw me in, I don't know. But you can, if you want, you can buy a common law ID card. So that if you are...
They're doing the same with the Universal Law Community Trust.
Yeah, and it actually says on it, we claim common law, this is my common law name. I'm not asking any more questions. And all you literally do is give them the card.
Right.
And that is what you say. Nothing. Just give them the fucking card.
In 2014 or what here?
No.
No. We're just talking amongst ourselves while you enjoy your threesome.
See, I get you. That's right. That it's actually right that with common law, this is how it should work. But because of this giant leap that they've made here, Ade, I don't know where anything stands now. Bills of exchange, if they collapse everything and say it's all going digital, they're going to bring something completely new in that they've already got to bring in. And if you do not follow the procedures, whatever that may be it a tattoo, be it a microchip, be it still on your card, whatever, if you don't follow that, you're not going to be able to buy or sell within a market that they control, where farmers are not going to be supplying their own fucking country. We've been paying our own farmers to not grow shit forever. There's some we're in. If you've ever read things like, I think you've mentioned it before, Ed, the giant chessboards and Icke Brzezinski, all this kind. If you go and read just snippets of that, you'll put this stuff together. It's a long game they've been playing, and all of a sudden, whatever it is, be it Q and Trump, be it other forces, whatever, they've made this big leap. They've done something, and it's gone out everywhere. I mean, down in the Philippines, the Filipino president said anybody who's out will be shot dead. And you're thinking, what? If you go out, you're going to be shot. This is because of a coronavirus. This is because of flu. This is bonkers. But they've made this leap, and they've done it in all these different countries. So it's got me now. What are you thinking?
Well, I was just going to say, you just hit it straight there. This proves that there is control above any government that nobody's supposed to see, because what did you just say, Webby?
Yes.
In every country. Yeah. So it's not just where Owen is, it's not where Ade is, it's not where Webby is, it's every bloody country. You're half of the world, 3.5 billion people are effectively under house arrest.
Voluntarily for now.
Oh, voluntarily.
Yes.
Begging for and paying for their own imprisonment without any trial, other than you are definitely guilty of being one dumb motherfucker if you can't see what's going on.
And happy for the army to be in Tesco saying only one pack of toilet roll, mate.
Yeah.
What is going on? What is going on, Jason?
I think
I thought that's what I thought you could shed some light upon if we. I'm trying to find a fucking image. I'll put my Death Star back up. There you go.
I'm gonna say you need to put some up, mate.
Death Star, we're coming in.
What I wanted to do is because earlier on there was something for the ladies behind me, all them gay blokes, and so what I wanted to do was do something for blokes, but don't put big tits into Google.
Is it? How many images of Boris Johnson did come up?
Well, one of the first images was of a male tennis player administering only what we can call a penile.
Phallic object.
He's got his knob through net and he's shagging the through net. and I thought to myself, this is Ade's world. I
didn't know you played tennis, mate.
No, can I point something out? I've been back in this country 2 weeks. I should have been flying back tomorrow from my favourite place. And in which instead I had to fucking fly back and put up with all this shit and pay over £1,000 for the
you love it, man.
Pleasure of it.
On here and going, oh, look at all these 13 families that are making us stop in, and these 13 families that mean that my holiday away, dude. We love you, man. We're glad you're back.
Hey. Do you know, I know a lad, right, who insists he's going to Turkey on Friday. He insists he's going. He knows he's not, but he's going to pack his case and he's going to drive to the airport. And he said he might even pay the £3.50 to go through the barrier for drop-off and then just go home.
Fuck's sake.
That's like cabin fever, that. I know people who are taking photographs of themselves with ironing boards outside in the shorts and flip-flops next to a blow-up pool saying, got a nice place next to the pool. Now I'm going for a bit of surfing. Cabin fever's setting in.
Oh, yeah, completely set. I mean, it's set in here. We've been doing, and you can imagine what it's like being sat with me, where you're trying to work. And you know, I'm the TV's on, and I'm like, fuck off, you silly cunt. Fucking, and then you get these celebrities coming on.
And Mavis hasn't been in Corrie for ages.
Who?
Mavis, she's not even been in Corrie for ages. You
Oh, I
tell her to fuck
know.
off.
But she's, a fucking Mavis.
Hang on, and there's a serious point here. There's a serious point.
There is.
A lot of people, women especially, are like addicted to all these soap operas. Now, apparently they've stopped filming them, haven't they? Apparently.
Yeah,
And instead of them being on 3, 4, 5 nights a week, they're now on 1 or 2 nights a week each. So they're trying to, you know, extend the life of them. I think the real fucking killer will come when they've run out of all these episodes and there's nothing left to show. And I'm being serious.
Apparently Disney Plus saves lives. Disney Plus saves lives, apparently. Do you know what? I don't know. They're going to carry on. Disney can carry on forever with all the Pixar stuff, and people are quite entertained with it. But you know, it's when that's not enough. Where do people go? I mean, some people are trying to get back to work, especially self-employed. I know a guy from years ago who's recently got back in touch with Bradley Knight, who used to do a lot of work down at the Royal Courts of Justice. He's trying to get something going for self-employed people now who aren't going to get this grant from the government because they don't meet the criteria. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to get stiffed from this.
Yeah.
And I think it's only going to set in when, you know, remember, Jason, what we always say, until it comes to your doorstep and it's telling you what it's going to do, it's only then that you're going to make a decision.
Yep. It's you always come to me when I'm just searching images.
Stop searching those images.
Do you know? Oh God!
I thought this was quite a good one tonight.
Owen? Oh, you're pointing to the lion.
Oh no, that's not
Do us a favour, Owen. Ring me mum and tell her I still love her.
Passes your phone then. Got it.
I'm just seeing an article that YouTube tightens COVID-19 rules after the David Icke interview.
Yeah, say that again. What's the headline?
YouTube tightens COVID-19 rules. Yeah, tightens COVID-19 rules after Icke interview.
Oh well, we knew that was going to happen anyway. That's happened all day, hasn't it? And that's on BBC.
Well, that's happened on purpose, though. Clearly, hasn't it?
Of course, it has.
You've got to have that angle. You've got to be able to think that way, because if you're not critically thinking. It's convenient. There's a lot of convenient stuff happening.
Ooh, I wrote something down about critical thinking earlier on.
Oh, Mr. Skeevy.
You found it, Jason?
I found it, yeah. It's just not worth it, though. Just carry on. We've got about 6 minutes left, guys. So what would your final... I don't know whether we're going to be doing this a little bit more later on in the week. I think we probably will be, as things, pan out in front of us, and Boris has been buried by a fucking, a vicar with AIDS, and a fucking copper stood not far away. Well, quite far away. But some people, but I mean, we're always, this is how it's going to pan out is anyone's guess. And I don't know if there's anybody else who finds this an exciting time to be alive. And I don't know whether it's because, I've fucking got one leg, fucking me, I'm done. And I'm not going to be in fucking battle. But I think there is going to be a battle. And I don't know what that battle is going to be. Whether it's going to be a battle of wills, whether it's going to be a violent battle, which I can't see it being. simply because we've learnt a lot about infrastructure, and they don't like infrastructure being knackered up. I mean, how do we see this going? Let's go around this table one last time tonight in this last 5 minutes. Owen, we'll start with you. Where do you see this next couple of weeks going?
Well, it depends how Tarantino and Spielberg have written it, really. As far as I can see, because it's scripted. My personal point of view, it's scripted. They're just dropping little carrots or dangling the carrot there, and then people are taking it and following that. So, it depends how long people will take the information that they've been given by the mainstream. Truly, I'm not going to say that the WAKEUP, whether people do that, but it's how long people will take this narrative that's going on. That's the only thing that I can see.
The ball is in there.
Sorry?
So, as I always give the last word to Webby, to Ade, sorry. Webby, you next. Where do you see this going next? What can we expect in the next week or so?
What they seem to be ramping it up rather than lowering it, despite the figures not, how we stand at the minute, the justification on how things are being ramped up. We're having hospitals built that we didn't have any money for. We've got beds that are empty with no patients in. Even over in New York, they bring in something like 1,000-bed military boat with 20 patients on board. Yet there's a war zone over there for this. So something's being hyped up. Anybody under these tests, anybody could test positive for coronavirus. If they've got a backup where they're then going to state vaccines for you to come out, all it's going to take is for good people to do nothing. And it goes back to the Martin Niemöller stuff. They came for the trade unionists. I wasn't a trade union. I said nothing. There's nothing different. So I think, to answer your question, Jason, they've tested us and they've got a good response. For a big jump, they've had a very good response. Where do they go? What can they do? If you refuse to do what they're saying, a medical professional, not a doctor, one medical professional, not 3 doctors can section you. Just a medical professional, whatever that is. If you've got coronavirus, your body may not be released to your family. There may not be a funeral, and you'll go straight to crematorium, and anybody could test positive for coronavirus. Councils are making their own funeral services and building their own crematoriums. There's something not right, and it could go very, very badly, as it has done many, many times through history, when it gets to this point, and all it'll take is for good people to do nothing.
Well, completely agree with you there, Webby. I mean, we all need to try and work out where the tipping point is and when something's really going to be happening. Ade, what about you? Where do you see going in the next couple of weeks? And as far as shows like this are concerned, I think they're going to be more more needed than ever. But and so far, touch wood, we've been left alone by YouTube. We've not been not had any sanctions at all, apart from a couple of copyright infringements ages and ages ago that aren't there anymore. So, what's your view with the next couple of weeks?
Well, the new tax year went almost untalked about. Normally, even somebody like me hears about that, who don't watch mainstream at all. But I think if people don't wake the fuck up, that is what you're looking at, 1984. That's it. That is literally what you're looking at. People have got to wake the fuck up, but they'll just blindly fucking keep going.
As well, I always liken it to the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park testing the fences when they're down for maintenance. If they can get past the first fence, let's test the second. Let's just see. Let's just see. And as we said, it's a big jump, this one.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
It is a massive jump. We all agree, and I'm sure we're going to be doing this again in not the too distant future, depending on what the future means to you. It is 10 o'clock. It's now our time to depart from you. A big thanks to everybody who's contributed in the chat room. Richie from Leicester Broadcasting, not seen you before. I have to ask, could this possibly be a way to get all the hidden Buckingham Palace to treat them there? Okay. Anyway, that's probably makes more sense than when I read it. But anyway, good. Thanks to everyone who's been in chat room. Gary Yates, watching us on Facebook.
Thanks, Gary. Just read that.
Say that again. Sorry.
Hey, Gary Yates, there are now new tax laws for self-employed aid. Yeah, thanks for that. I'll be ringing my accountant, but I'll be practicing social distancing.
Yeah, Dinny as well in there. Give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs down if you've not enjoyed it. I think we know who's going to have enjoyed it and who's not going to have enjoyed it. And I want to name him. Sorry, I need to find this because I just want to name him because he's just an awesome guy. He's like one of my favouriteest people ever.
It's a good job there was no bad English in that then sentence.
What there then? I didn't say no sentences.
Nay? Who said no to no sentences?
I didn't say no sentences. No, not me. All right, hang on.
Is it Lee Garrett?
No, I might be Lee Garrett, actually.
Maybe he's the one who keeps writing all your... Oh, is that who you're on about? Could be Lee Garrett. Keith
Kimmins.
How are you spelling that?
Keith as in...
Yeah.
Keith. And Kimmins as in Simmons, but we're a kicking K.
A kicking K.
Yeah. Yeah, he's...
other search engines are available.
Keith Kimmins, what a great name. Love you, mate. And thanks for your input as well. And thanks for watching us every week. We really do appreciate it. Webby's going to be doing some Webster reports, I'm pretty sure. Have you got all planned, Webby, that you want to share with people before we go?
No, nothing planned yet. I'm 7 days on at work, so it'll be... Say again, over.
So, I was just going to say, so you've got no planned at the moment. So
nothing at the minute, no.
Anybody wants to, if you want to... subscribe to the Webster report, then you'll hit the notifications thing and you might get notified because some people don't. I've not been notified about us being on tonight, which I find very interesting. So anyway, that's it for this week on the Mondays and Tuesdays. Keep a lookout on Facebook and on YouTube, and we'll be with you again very soon. So ta-ra a bit. Love you all. Say bye-bye, everybody. Come on, Celebrity Squares.
Say again, over.
It's the music.